Today on Rock the Park, we're battling the elements of the wild Pacific Northwest.
Woo!
Tackling nature's gnarliest obstacle course,
We're getting beat up out here.
only to be met by rising ocean tides.
The water right now is slamming against the cliffside. Then it's a race against Mother Nature to the top of the mighty Olympic Mountains.
Pure fog, a very rocky trail, and a very steep drop.
We're pushed to the limit,
This is not what I was expecting from this hike.
and it all starts now.
Woo!
I'm Jack Stewart.
And I'm Colton Smith.
We love the national parks.
Oh my gosh. It's all about packing up a car and just doing it. Just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
There's no telling what will happen next.
wow, ready for the time of your life?
Get set to rock the park.
Today, we're in Olympic National Park.
Olympic is basically 3 parks in one with 3 distinct regions: the Alpine, the rainforest, and the coast.
All are equally awesome, and Jack and I plan on tackling all 3.
Spreading across almost 925,000 acres in the northwest corner of Washington state, Olympic National Park is home to mountains, forests, waterfalls, marine life, and tons of wildlife, including a few creatures found only here in the park. And of course, there's Mount Olympus, the highest peak in the park and its namesake. We're starting off in the west with a quick stop to learn why Olympic is such a rare refuge for wildlife and different habitats.
This is it.
One of the really special things about Olympic is that 95% of the park is wilderness.
Public Information Officer Barb Maines explains that a wilderness area is a special distinction given so land can be preserved in its natural state without human interference.
The Wilderness Act became law in 1964. When Congress passed that law, they knew that life in the wilderness is going on now in as natural a way as it was 300 years ago, 500 years ago.
What can we kind of expect from this trip?
Get ready for some sensory overload. You're gonna see a lot of different things, but take a few minutes here and there just to kind of soak up what this is about.
Excellent, I can't wait. We're starting in the Hoh Rainforest on the western edge of the park. It's one of the last remaining rainforests that once stretched from Alaska to southern Oregon. The minute you enter it, the air cools and you are surrounded by massive trees, some measuring up to 300 feet tall and 25 feet around.
Wow, that's gigantic.
When I heard that Olympic National Park actually has a rainforest way up here in the Pacific Northwest, I was kind of blown away. Normally the rainforest that I think of, we're talking about the Amazon, we're kind of talking about your jungle.
The Hoh Rainforest gets up to 12 feet of rainfall a year. That's more than anywhere else in the lower 48 states. Add in mild winters and cool summers, and you've got the perfect environment to grow some huge trees.
Whoa.
And some wicked-looking moss. Moss is a spore-bearing plant that thrives in cool, damp environments. The Hoh Rainforest is thick with it, and the animals love to eat it.
That's awesome, pretty cool. Dude, look at that elk.
Oh, man.
Look at that
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
That thing, I know, they're huge. This is a Roosevelt elk. These massive animals can weigh up to 1,100 pounds, and the largest population in the U.S. is found in this rainforest.
It's ridiculous. We're already seeing wildlife, especially something that huge is really cool.
The rainforest is a refuge for another rare species, the northern spotted owl. This giant owl nests in the large trees and feeds on rats and flying squirrels.
Yup, with all these amazing animals, the rainforest is definitely a place to take it nice and slow. It's our second day in Olympic National Park and we're ready to hit the coast, but can't resist checking out some of the creatures in the adjoining forest before hitting the beach.
Wow, look at that, the slime it's leaving.
Oh, man.
That's gross.
Just a trail of goo. This weird-looking creature is called the banana slug. At 9 inches long, it's the second largest slug in the world. And those big tentacles are its eyes.
Wow. Oh my gosh, look at that thing.
That's incredible.
I could eat a horse.
The Pacific coast of Olympic National Park is 73 miles of extremely rare wilderness, a mixture of rocky cliffs, pristine beach, and coastal forest.
So we just reached the coast and we can see our destination in the distance, but it's covered by all this fog.
You see the giant rocks just kind of coming up out of nowhere?
Kind of got this eerie tone to it.
We want to camp on the beach at a place called Giant's Graveyard, but as we're about to discover, getting there isn't so much a walk on the beach.
We've missed the tide.
The water right now is slamming against the cliffside, and the trail to get over to the main part, that's gone.
We're exploring the wild Pacific coast of Olympic National Park in Washington State. And like everything else about this park, the beach is awesome.
I'm blown away right now. It feels like we're in the Caribbean. This is not what I assumed the Pacific Northwest looked like.
Wow. This stretch of sand is known as Third Beach, and in the distance, we can see awesomely eerie rock formations called sea stacks. These rocks are just jetting up out of the ground. The waves are crashing in, and this isn't a national park.
Today, it's just about getting to our campsite and relaxing, getting the bonfire going. Our goal is to explore the coast and set up camp about 3 miles south at the sea stacks called Giant's Graveyard. Sounds easy enough, but
we have to be ready for the tide, because that's going to determine if we can go places, if we can't go places.
The tide becomes one of the obstacles.
in some areas along the way, the beach all but disappears when the tide comes in, and the only way around the rocky cliffside is up.
We might have to climb ladders. I've heard ropes. I'm not really sure what to expect. I don't think it's just gonna be a nice casual stroll on the beach. At low tide, the ocean surface has dropped 8 vertical feet, revealing some of the park's hidden gems.
The tide is out right now. All the rocks along here have little starfish and other sea creatures. The tide pools along the beach are just packed with brightly colored starfish, or sea stars as they're also called. These creatures have eye spots at the end of their tentacles that can detect light.
I've never really seen a sea star in the ocean live, you know? You've got little orange and red ones, you got your purple ones. Look at this, bro.
Now we know we're supposed to keep an eye on the tide, and well, we got a little carried away.
We spent a little too much time in the tide pools because the tide has moved in and we have no path.
The ocean is forcing us to take refuge on the land, so we're gonna get out of the way. And this is where our coastal stroll becomes more of an obstacle course. The water right now is slamming against the cliffside.
We see another trail marker that we're gonna use to get up over the cliff. It looks steep, which is fine, but these packs are pretty heavy.
They are. Is that a rope? It is a rope. Yeah.
I better go first.
I'll go first. I'll make sure it's safe for you. All right.
It's what I do. I love these obstacle, physical type things.
Taking this overpass is really the only way to avoid the submerged beach. Ropes help, and there are ladders too. But careful footing isn't the only thing to worry about.
I take one big leap up and my pants just tear. Oh no. Luckily I'm wearing my swim trunks underneath.
Do you have a sewing kit in your first aid?
No, no sewing kit. And then I take this next step. Well, it just got a lot worse.
Oh my God.
And it went from this big to this big. At this point, the jeans are ruined. They're absolutely ruined.
That's great.
The obstacles up, down, and over these headlands would be challenging even without 40-pound packs on our backs.
It's like a seesaw.
But getting there is half the fun, as coastal forests make way for Pacific views and beaches lined with driftwood logs washed in by the tides.
Oh man, a little steep. You can see how the tide really has started to come in. Those rocks over there, you see those?
They're completely underwater.
And that's where we were an hour ago looking at sea stars and all these other types of marine life.
We gotta get moving.
Yeah, next stop, Giant's Graveyard. 1 minute, we're on a gorgeous rocky beach. The next, we're in a coastal forest under a canopy of Sitka spruce and western hemlock trees. All right, final stretch.
Yep, just Just gotta get over this cliff, then I'm diving in that water.
It's gonna be freezing.
We finally reached Giant's Graveyard, and it is amazing. It's incredible.
Awesome.
We made it.
Yeah, we did. Well worth the obstacles.
Absolutely.
Check out all the sea stacks. Those rocky formations were once a part of the mainland, but over time, the ocean wore away the dirt and softer rock around them.
This is definitely where I want to set up camp.
And then we got all day to sit back and relax.
Tent set up, and it's about 80 degrees, so I'm getting in that water.
Yeah, it is about time you get rid of those pants.
Why Colton decides to just sit around on the shore while there's all this nice water, it's beyond me. I'm going in.
Why wouldn't you swim?
Because I don't want to.
Can you even swim? Maybe we should have packed your floaties.
I'm an incredible swimmer. Yes, I can swim.
The ocean looks inviting, but I'm about to find out the hard way why most people don't swim at this beach.
Oh! Oh, no!
We're on the North Pacific coast of Olympic National Park, and the water is a chilly 45 degrees. I learned the hard way that enjoying this experience is best done from the beach.
Woo! So cold!
That's not warm at all. I hate to say it, maybe Colton had the right idea here. This is when the charm of the national parks really sinks in. Just think, we all own one of the longest strips of wilderness coastline in the world. Nice thought to end the day.
We woke up not too long ago. It's about 5 a.m. Today's our last day here in Olympic.
Olympic is 3 parks in one, so after checking out the rainforest and the coast, we set our sights on the Alpine region and the park's main attraction, Mount Olympus.
We've heard about an epic drive that will take us high into the mountains via a super scenic stretch called Hurricane Ridge. You're climbing up in elevation. You're going above the clouds. Check out the view.
All right.
A lot of animals live in the mountains, which can make driving a bit tricky.
Oh, here we go. We got the babies.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, that's so cool.
We love to drive, and we've always wanted to try an 8-mile dirt road called Obstruction Point Road. This stretch requires nerves of steel and a rugged car.
We've got a gravel road. It's single lane. This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, this is great.
We love to drive in these parks, and when they give us these kind of off-road style drives, it's almost as fun as hiking.
This single-lane dusty road starts at 5,200 feet above sea level and climbs another 1,000. It weaves around tight corners with drop-offs for thousands of feet. And if you can tear your eyes off the road for a second, the panoramic views will blow your mind.
Oh my gosh, epic.
Epic.
I'm gonna say this is epic right now, because it is.
It's the highest elevation road in the park, and to add to the insanity, there are very few turnouts, so oncoming traffic requires some careful maneuvering.
Oh, shoot. We got a little issue. We've got a truck coming at us. This is the most narrow the road's ever been. They're backing down, which is nice because this would have been nearly impossible to avoid.
It's always a great feeling when your car ride is a sick adventure and you haven't even gotten to your hike.
We're about halfway up to Obstruction Point when we can't resist a quick detour.
Just park here. As we're driving to our main hike, we see this trail called the PJ Lake Trail.
The hike is less than a mile long and leads down to an alpine lake. But it looks like we might have some company.
Right at the trailhead, we spotted deer. This guy wasn't afraid of us at all. It's clear that he's very used to seeing people.
Black-tailed deer are everywhere in the forests and meadows around here. Looks like everyone is on the go.
What seemed like a nice warm-up hike suddenly turns into a steep downhill drop for a total of 900 feet.
Whoa. Oh, man. Whoa.
And of course, the kicker being, if you go down, you gotta come back up.
Oh.
Fortunately, being in the mountains surrounded by wildlife is well worth the effort.
Wow.
Look at that.
We spot a lot of these little guys along our hike. The Olympic marmot is found only in this park and lives in large family groups in the meadows. In the summer, it doubles its weight to more than 25 pounds to prepare for hibernation.
Nothing dainty about this guy. 300-pound mountain goats thrive in the mountains here, but they aren't native to the park. The park is reviewing ways to manage the population, which explains why this guy has a collar.
We just came across a pretty awesome waterfall.
That is it. You got the moss there, just popping that color right off.
Oh, man.
White streaks coming down. That is amazing. All right, I gotta go down there.
Of course you do.
Woo! That's cold.
We're getting close, and we're getting colder. Thick fog hangs over PJ Lake.
Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, that is eerie.
We start the hike, blue skies, it's warm, and we get here, and now we're cold, and we're covered by clouds.
Now, on our next hike, we're gonna get a really great view of Mount Olympus, but with all this fog, we can't even see what's on the other side of this lake.
All right, dude. We made it. It's a good warm-up, but we got to get to that real hike.
Hold on. This is not what I was expecting from this hike.
Woo!
Oh, I'm exhausted.
The thing I love about hiking is you gotta work to get to the cool spots, and sometimes you gotta work to get back to your car. We can see the Subaru, the beacon of hope.
Warmed up and then some, we catch our breath the rest of the way to Elk Mountain.
It's our last hike. It looks pretty straightforward. It's to a peak where hopefully we're gonna get to see Mount Olympus. I think we're gonna end this trip on a high note.
We start at 6,100 feet. The elevation is more gradual than PJ Lake, but it's still a climb.
Oh, yeah. I love this.
And the higher we get, the more rugged the terrain. Wet in some places, snowy in others.
It's really slippery.
Oh, I'll follow your footprints.
Yep.
Also blanketing the landscape and potentially spoiling our plans of laying eyes on Mount Olympus, the fog.
Pure fog, a very rocky trail, and a very steep drop.
The fog has followed us. We had it at the old PJ Lake, and it's followed us here. This is it. This is the last hike of our trip, so we gotta get up there. I'm gonna have faith that it's gonna clear up, because what can we do at this point?
After 3 epic treks through the diverse terrain of Washington's Olympic National Park, we hope to cap our adventure with a glimpse of the park's most famous landmark, but dense fog may keep us from our goal.
Normally, we would look at weather and we'd say, hey, bring it on. It's gonna add to the excitement. Not today, because today we wanna see Mount Olympus.
My one hope is that either it burns off, because I can feel the sun.
Fog has been rolling in and out for our entire hike. Luckily, at the summit, we catch a break.
This is it.
I think this is our overlook.
All right.
Oh, man!
Wow.
Look at all of these mountains. Yeah! Is that Mount Olympus?
There she is.
At nearly 8,000 feet above sea level, Mount Olympus is the highest peak in the Olympic Mountains. It's a super steep climb to the top, and the mountain itself is only visible from certain vantage points, which makes this sighting all the more rewarding.
Olympic National Park, dude. We rocked it.
Yeah, we did. No matter if you're a hiker like us, or maybe you're just somebody who likes to sit and relax on the beach all day, or just hop in a car and take a scenic drive, Olympic National Park has an experience for you.
It's not hard to get here. You're so close to Seattle, and once you make it, it gives you that true wilderness experience that you feel good working hard to achieve.
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.